So here we are for a fun little session. We have got the grimiest, grungiest Les Paul copy in the world on the bench today, and it's gifted to me by Eric. Thank you, Eric. And it is, as you can tell, quite filthy. And it's a Rockburn. I keep calling it Rockwood, Rockburn. And for all I know, this could be all made of MDF. That's wood. The bridge is broken. One of the saddles is connect. And also, I don't know if you can see this, but quite interesting to observe, if I can get this focused in, that the back of that bridge is bent. See that? So let's replace that as well. So the idea of this is I've got a few spare bits and pieces, not bare knuckle pickups obviously, but I've got some spares which could go onto this, bits and pieces, and we're going to strip it all down in one big flurry, clean it up and put it back together again in some sort of way that will play. Now it doesn't have to be perfect, it's going to be clean and a decent player. Those seem to be, who knows what they're like. They on paper they look good, but they're filthy as well. But we'll clean them up and see. So we'll get everything off and we'll see where we're at. So it's a non-stop, well, until the battery runs out on the camera really, a fairly non-stop business. So let's put you up here, see if I can put that without pressing any buttons. I need to draw onto this camera where the right place is to put it. Now at some point I probably should, well, I don't have reach. Let's just get on with it. Right, so we got to take, oh, these strings are absolutely filthy. I've got some spare strings hopefully, which we can use when we come to doing the fret leveling, because yes, this old beast is going to get proper fret leveling just like everything else. It's going to play really well. It's going to be great fun to play as well. So now I don't know whether anything works just yet, and I'm not massively keen to try it out yet until I've had a look inside. The jack plug is clearly hanging off or rattling and whizzing around, so but I'm getting myself ready for the filth that is going to fall down on me. I think what I'll do is I'll just chop these off here as soon as I can. Two things at once. Hey, did we see the football last night? England fans? Yes, I'm sure we all did. Now, normally on a guitar, I would aim to use the existing strings as sacrificial strings, but in this case I'm not, because they're too filthy even for that purpose. I'd have to actually handle them and it would make me feel unwell. So I'm going to take all the hardware off that I can possibly get my hands on. I'll take this. Now one of the things I'm going to do, is always a good thing to do when somebody gives you a guitar like this, is to test the truss rod, because if it doesn't work then it's probably not going to be much use to somebody else. Ill-fashioned legends about about how easy it is to take off the fingerboard and miraculously replace broken truss rods is a bit that. It's a bit of a myth. It can be very difficult. God, filthy strings, filthy strings. So who knows where this thing's come from and what its history was. How many anguished teenagers rocked out to this in the space of the years, across the years. But let's hope lots, because there's nothing better than a guitar that's been, oh, it just broke, I like that. Nothing better than a guitar that's been played hard and enjoyed. Just cutting these off just so I can get quick access to everything, because it's also filthy. Some of these don't want to come out. Well, I'm not using that bridge again because it's breaking anyway. So. Health hazard. Health hazard. Okay, so that's that. Let us take these off. The knobs, and we'll take all everything else off as well. Knobs. Ugh, the grime that's built up under there. Holy cow, what is here? Ugh. Paper, weirdness. Probably find some secret code message. Help me, Obi-Wan Kenobi. You're my only hope. Let's get rid of this. Blimey, everything's filthy. Yuck. Right. I'll worry about those in a minute. Oh, geez. Let me just brush this off. Some of the solid gunge off. Probably extremely unhealthy. Right, let's now get on off. Let's get the neck off. See what we're working with. Don't know what the condition of the finish is really, but as long as it's clean, that's how it's staying really. I don't think we're going to do anything clever to it. No finish repairs or refinishes or anything like that. Too much time. It's going to be it's meant to be a quick strip down. Let's see what we've got in here. Ooh, we've got some hole filler. Little bits of wood in there to try and fill the holes to make it stronger. So it doesn't look very particularly strong. Heel. Ah yes. Now the next bit. Let's try the old truss rod before we do anything else. What are we looking? We're looking flat. Frets are pretty worn, but they're not dreadfully badly worn. Now this is okay. That was on slack. Now we just want to put it under pressure and see it back bows somewhat. Yep, it's doing that all right. Good. No worries. So that's a viable working neck. Jolly good. So it's worth continuing for a bit, but let's just hang it there for a second. So what have we got here? We've got, well, it looks like wood, even if it's not that fantastic. So let's get the back off. We'll have a good quick look at what's in here. We'll take the strap buttons off as well because they're loose at the moment, and so I suspect it would be a good idea to fill the holes a bit, get a better bite. I think it's probably a good idea to replace the jack socket with a quality modern one. Even if, you know, the pots themselves and the wiring is okay, which I don't know. Yeah, it looks pretty standardized. I'll show you in a sec. Hold on. Bear with me. what's this? Who knows? A little bit of a prop holding things up there. So let's show you quickly into the land of the guts. So deeply sunk into the body of this, and this has got some it's got some little bits holding it up. So obviously the cover is sinking down a little bit, so they've propped it up with some stuff. Switch pointing the opposite way to how I would normally do it, but I can take care of that as well. What we've got in terms of wiring, what's going on? Well, it looks pretty straightforward. God knows what the wood in here is. It's all a bit mangled. It looks like, kind of looks like a lot of plywood, to be honest. But that's not such a bad thing. As long as it works, that's all sort of okay-ish, really. You sit there for a minute. Now, while you're there, technically, I could sneak in power cable. Is that going to upset the recording? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe we can stay there for a second. Right, so there's that and there's that. I think we need to take these pickups out because we've got to clean this whole area here, and they are filthy, and also we have no idea what they sound like. Technically, we could either leave them be, or we could replace them with something a bit more different or maybe interesting, but who knows. If we're gonna strip it down, I think I need to make a decision about whether we're gonna fit new pots. I mean, the small pots make sense for the time being because they I have no idea what those pickups are or were, or you can probably see them just about. Just absolutely grimy. So my concern would be whether I take them off now, get them clear of everything. Cutters. Do I take them off? Let's hoik them upside down. Just stay there for a minute. Don't worry about that too much. Okay, that's good. All the wiring in there looks all reasonable, actually. I don't know. Let's have a look. Right, this one, where does it go to? Blimey, all the way up to there. And it cuts off there. And that goes to the middle one. That's the output. Bridge. So thunder again. I think it might be. Okay, and here's the output, or the pickup input, sorry, on the neck. So that gets them safely out of the way. It also means we can clean up things. Now, of course, we ain't going to clean much up if we leave all these wires in. We'll have to work around these pots. I don't really know. I don't think anything was deliberately put around these pots to make them work or something. But let's see. Now, this is going to be the fun part. This is all a bit messy. I want to see if we can remove it. You could argue that it looks cool, but the truth is, it's going to be always soaked in someone else's grime, unfortunately. So let's see what we can do with some cleaning fluid. See whether it works at all. A rag like this will end up being thrown away, undoubtedly. So I'm going to be fairly confident that the person who put these stickers on in the first place will have done so because of the state of the finish anyway. So they're just sort of disguising things. We could soak all these down and see if we can scrape them off. Might one way to do it, but it could be a long way round. Ew-wee. This is minging. Let's get a wet cloth and see if we can soak some of that. Let's see what happens. Yes, the football. The football, eh? It's funny, well, it's sad how the post-mortem is being, you know, everybody's accusing everybody of letting everybody else down. You know, now it all seems to be centered around accusations about the managers, you know, sort of tipping it over into defence and taking out the strikers when they should have been going for more strikers and less defenders. And how very difficult to know and very easy to critique when you're not the aforementioned manager. So good old water to begin with. I'm hoping to I'm trying to soak these down a bit. And at the same time clean off as much of the grime as is possible. Oh, it's a disgusting colour. Now, just mainly getting rid of the gunge first of all, in as crude terms as possible. I've got to take the strap buttons off. Well, the finish doesn't look too bad around the sides and stuff. I think with a bit of stuff at home, car body detailer stuff, I'm sure it would clean up quite nicely. The front is a bit, I should probably need to soak that longer. Let's get another cloth with water in it. We'll do the neck. Stay there a minute. Right. Ooh, this is filthy. I think we've got to take these tuners off to stand any chance of cleaning them anyhow. Bring you there. Can you see there? Something like that. I'm just trying to take advantage of the reach to the power charger. Make the most of it. Yes, anyway, it was, I wasn't totally tied up, invested in the football game. I like that winger, orange-haired winger, Gordon, is it? I thought, I liked his goal. I thought it was a great old-fashioned winger's goal. Something we don't see enough of, or I don't see enough of in what little footy I watch, but it was good to see it. It was a bit old times, a bit like old times thing that happened. I'm just looking at the position of the screws on the heel, the neck screws on the heel of this guitar. They're so off the mark, it's hilarious. But it's okay, we can work with that. Now I'm just gonna undo these. They're already undone, funnily enough. Yep. Would it be good to chuck all of this in some cleaning or some cellulose thinners or anything that will clean them up? Anything non-watery, we shall see. Obviously not, I won't chuck the whole tuner in, but these little bits. So these will have to be cleaned by hand. I think you should have a little thing, container where I can put the screws in. All screws can go in. No, I won't put the knobs in, but all screws can go in. All screws, bridge parts, or I should say working bridge parts that we're going to actually use. I'm going to bin both of those, clean those by hand, and that's okay. We've got some pickup screws we put in here as well. And we've got some cellulose thinners that we can chuck in here. Let's make a little bit of a soup. Keep this going. We can also hopefully use some of that to clean the whatnots. The bits are the tuner petals and the plastic as well. Now what I want to do is just put a bit of moisture on here. Thank you. So just trying to get the initial bulk of the grime off before I handle it too much more. Okay. Ooh. Puke. Grime. Okay, so that's okay for now. We'll pack out these holes, drill them out, put some extending whatever. What do I mean? I mean we'll put something in. Now I need a piece of plastic for scraping these things off. They will eventually come off, but they're going to be very stubborn to begin with. I don't want to soak the thing too much. Now I've got a metal scraper, but I don't want to use that with my new tool, which was, what tool was it, Samuel? It was the oscillating multi-tool thing. which I've never had one of those before, so I got one. I needed to cut something on the Loudon acoustic. I was going to cut the rivets on that, what I understood to be rivets, except they turned out not to be rivets. I think it could be that this guitar has a seriously thick encrustment of nicotine, which wouldn't surprise me, because weren't we all doing that when we was youngsters? Yes, of course we was. So I think just getting as much of that off as possible would be a good thing. Make the whole thing feel a lot better to the touch. And while I'm at it, I'm going to give this a good go on the fingerboard too. Yeah, so football come and went. And I'm not really too bothered to watch them play off against France, because undoubtedly France is going to win. It's the way it's got to be. It's a shame about the Malvinas references yesterday, especially by the Argentinian players, but they've never been known to be very friendly to the British players, the English players. So I guess it was almost predictable, and we don't know what was said, if anything, by the English team. Hope nothing, but you never know. I saw some statements in social media which were evidently not very friendly. Wow, the amount of grime having to be washed off here. I mean, some people prefer to scrape the frets at times like this. That is one way of doing it. Probably saves a lot in the way of that stuff. The stuff known as naptha. So, oh goodness sakes, stop sticking to there. Yes. Yeah, I don't think I've been, I mean, football was good when I used to, I liked it back in the 70s when I listened to far away European Cup finals on the radio. Somehow that always seemed really exotic and mystical, mysterious, because they were so far away, and the signal was usually a kind of AM signal that was fading in and out, so you barely hear this amazing event from far away. And often it wasn't any further than somewhere in Europe, maybe, you know, Liverpool versus Borussia Mönchengladbach or something. But it was all the more exotic because it was, you know, this is in the days of the Iron Curtain, and you know, somewhere over there was the Soviet zone of influence. Now, looking at these frets, they have enough life to level them, and that may just about sort out some of the wear that's there, but there won't be a lot of life left to do another leveling at any time. And this is aimed for a kind of a beginner to play on, so I don't think it warrants a refret. It also becomes a lot more expensive at the point of a refret. Right, just get me all the way down to the end. I remember that as a kid, the radio was a magical device, you know, because of that fact that you could hear. If you were curious, you could tune into Radio Moscow, and although there was nothing terribly real about that channel, it was always a propaganda channel for the Russians, but just to be able to hear it reminded you that there was this real thing. The Soviet Union was a real slightly malevolent place somewhere off in the distance, you know. To be able to be conscious or feel its presence was quite a spooky thing to do, or to be able to feel. This has broken the gloves already, but I guess we've got some of the initial grime off, so it's a bit cleaner to work with, and hang that up there. Oh, actually, let's do the fills first. Did I bring? Oh my goodness me! I don't think I brought it. Oh, what the! I looked around for all my tools, and the one thing I didn't brought was the blasted drill. It's at home. Well, that's actually, we'll just get away with it, I think. get some. I mean, I could connect up a power drill. I do have such a thing. I don't use it as a rule, although you can see it's completely covered in dust. But I do sometimes use it when needs must. Where's my adjuster? Thank you. Oh, thank you. All I needed. Just binging at me. So the aim here is just to get this so I can put in some new dowels. Take care of that so we can ensure that when it comes time to put some, we can make some new screw holes that are going to grip nicely. You can probably see even from here how near to the edge the holes are over on that side. Not critical, not the end of the world, but not brilliant either. Now where have my, where have they gone? Oh no, this ain't possible. Don't tell me they're falling down the back. That cannot be the truth. I will not survive that were it the case. No, they haven't, they're here. Locks. Right. Sorry. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to load up these holes with some glue, let it fall in, and so. And then we are going to get a scratchy bit of sandpaper, not the best. Not the best by a long shot, but it'll do. And then we'll snip off here for the time being. So all the time I'm thinking about what's got to be done, and so I know that the truss rod works, the frets are probably got just about enough life in them to play, and a little bit of a level if it should need that. I'm sorting out the heel to make sure that plays well. I can just leave that to dry. Don't need to do anything with it for a minute. The rest of the neck looks pretty good structurally. So then it's back to taking care of the body and thinking about what, if anything, I have to do with the pots and stuff. So I could begin with the assumption that they work, although we're starting with the assumption that we're going to change the pickups on this. I could obviously I could test the pickups, and we could reuse them if they have a decent level. So let's do that and see what we can learn about them. Is that now? A little bit of fret wire. Okay, let's just continue leaving that to soak as much as it can. Let's have a look at what we took out. Go over there. Right, to check these I'm going to need to cut the wires down a bit. How are you doing there? You're still good at 35 minutes. So I need to, let's take off as much as I would need if I'm going to reuse those wires. A bit of a bare wire. and the core. So 2-wire pickup, straightforward, nothing complicated. And this one is the neck one. There we go. So we're going to grab hold of our tester thing, and we're going to check the resistance of this little darling. Hey, it does. Blimey, does it work? 11.3-ish. Is that really happily working? I think it does. 11.3. Should we just write it on there for fun? Ooh, ooh, oh God, it's vile. Right, let's just clean that up a bit. Talk about grimy. Neck 11.3. Honestly. Okay. Now let's have a look at the bridge. Mark came over today to pick up his setup red special, Burns one, and also to pick up his his Trekkie one, which he played and decided he had to have, which is a prototype of one of mine, or one of my prototypes of a Trekkie, which I kept because it was such a nice guitar to play, and he also liked it, so he bought it. Well, this something here is intermittent. So 11.7. I don't know. I'm hoping it's not these wires here that are faulty. Or even here. So it settles down at 11.7, but it seems to be something seems to be intermittent, and like I say, I don't really know whether it's the testers or whether it's the pickup. Probably the testers. That doesn't seem to work at all, that pen. Bridge 11.7K. So very similar. Much hotter than the ones I've picked out along here. Let's just check one of these as a comparison. When I typically picked something that's going to be a rack pane, that's the earth, and two of these are, I don't know which they are. So I think just for the sake of it, I'm going to leave that out of it for a minute, and let's try something that should be simpler. Okay, yeah, just about simpler. We'll go with the black and the green. Yeah. Let's see if it suffers from the same difficulty to pick up reading. Okay, 6. It's changing all over the place, but it's because it's okay. So it must be something to do with I think it's to do with the cables. This is jumping all over the place. I don't understand why. So touching it on there. It's got to be to do with the wires, which is really blasted annoying. Come on, try a different position. .5.1 and I got 4.8 written on here, so that's not even the truth, but let's call it 5.1, 4.8. So that's a lower output pickup than those. We can assume these work if we wish. Don't see any reason why to change them unless we need to. If they work well enough, I'm going to use a bit of cellulose cleaner on the front of these. They are quite grimy, as we know. Ugh. Ugh, the yellow stuff that's coming off, the nicotine. Okay, let's take this right off while we're at it. We probably do a good job putting all of this plastic stuff in the sink, which I might just proceed to do. So, bridge and thingies. We've got knobs, we've got plates, we've got covers, headstock. Oh, come back here. We've got things. I'm going to go and prepare me a little. I think I'm going to anyway. Let's see if this will stay. Put some soap in there. Yes, please. And just fill that with that. And then there, make it all the same amount. There we go. There we go. See how long that lasts. Bear with me. Sorry about this. I'm still doing it. I'll take that one off as well. 1 second. I think that's draining away pretty quick, but I can still give it a bit of a, I can run it anyway and give it a bit of a scrub. So let's take this one off. This one's got some sellotape on it. Scratch tape. Yuck, 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 yuck. Filth, filth, and more filth. Okay, we'll worry about that now. Okay, this can go in there. I think I will then get my little scrubbing brush. I'll get me some more kitchen roll. And ready to scrub these things and ultimately drop them on here to dry off. Which means I'll move those out of the way, plus this stuff. Right, let me go and scrub. Where's my scrubbing brush? There it is. I don't really have a very, I don't have a camera to take in there with me a second. All my water's gone. I need to keep this running. Throw away the heartache. Come on, more water. Room for it to go down the sink. I see. Gotcha, gotcha, and gotcha. No, not the best bath in the world. It would have been better to have a bit of a good long soak, but it's better than nothing. Right, now what else can I do? What else can I do? We want to clean these hideous tuners up. So let me see if I can cellulose off the majority of the grime. Ugh. I suppose it does, majority of it does come off. I mean, these do start out feeling quite decent quality tuners, so if we can get the sticky decades of nicotine or whatever it is off, then we could still be in business. Got quite a few spare pairs of tuners as well, if necessary. I mean, they don't exactly clean up immediately, but there's sort of some way towards it. So tomorrow I'm taking I was gonna say a day off, but it's never a day off really. It's homework Friday. So tomorrow's homework day will either be Larry's thin line telly, to continue putting that back together, or it will be Adam's 335-ish, both of which are sort of getting to the place where they're ready to be completed, assembled and finished near enough. So that will be some fun homework stuff. But in the day I'm going to go into Plymouth, I think, and visit the Apple Genius, bloody Genius bar or whatever it's called, and see if they can advise me on how to keep the battery working longer on my beautiful new iPhone 17, just to make sure I'm not running something in the background all the time that kills the battery. Because the lady from the place rang me today to check out how my new iPhone 17 was doing, and I said, if I'm honest, it's worse than the old iPhone 12 I've got as far as the battery is concerned. So it's not a great start. So we shall see. We shall see. I'm just scrubbing down these pickups to give them a bit of a clean up. There's no reason not to keep them. I'm not. The aim of this isn't to, race through and find upgrades I must do. I'm going to upgrade where things are broken, obviously. But if something actually works, then there's no reason to change it. Especially it's aimed at a beginner, so the selections in favour of better, quote unquote, better pickups may be a bit academic at this point in the person's playing experience. So we've got quite a bit of the grime off these at the moment. We're going to have to replace the bridge anyway. You can see all of that grime coming off from there. It's hideous. How are we doing with this? Well, we'll sort of get there. I don't have a sharp plastic thing, I don't think. We've got plenty of bits of plastic here. This might work. Yeah. It's jingling. Lovely. So I can get, most of it off with this, or not that, maybe this. Once we get this paper off, then the rest will be good to go with some naptha. paper that's the difficult bit. So once we're through the paper, of course the water won't help to remove the sticky glue stuff at all, so that's when we'll need to tackle that more directly with the cloth, with the naphtha and the solvents. That's not too bad. Ew. So it may not be the case that I'll get it all finished and put back together again tonight. I'm not sure. We shall have to see. Might be a bit hopeful. Bound to hurt a finger somewhere. There we go. I think I'm gonna wipe that off and chuck bulk of this stuff away. There. So we will have a bit more clean stuff here. So probably be better off leaving this dry for a bit, but that's good. We shall take care of that in a minute. Let's hang that up there. We'll attack that with some good old naphtha. We'll put this back. Remember that's a nice scraping device, that clear thing. Okay, where are we at? 53 minutes. Well, let us reconstitute, if we can, reconstruct our pickups and rings while we are about it. Let's make sure they're dry. I think they're going to stay nice and yellow. I don't think we can clean them much more, if at all. This looks scratched as opposed to stained. Let's see what we've got on here. Maybe that's quite good. That cleans up. So I guess it's telling me that we could sand something here. What we got for 400? That'll do. Let's give that a quick going over. Let's see if we lighten everything up a bit. Yay. 400. It was very nice selling a guitar to Mark today, but almost as nice was the fact that a couple of days ago I was telling him about we were sharing Queen, our liking of Queen music, and I had sent him a link showing him some demo Queen that I'd heard, which actually bizarrely sounded a ton better than it was the studio version of pretty much everything that went on to their first album, Queen. They call it the eponymous first album, titled Queen, eponymously titled. Anyway, yeah. So I come across this demo, a released version of that album that featured a number of tracks recorded in a demo studio or a rehearsal studio, which I just thought were absolutely fantastic, a ton better than what was actually on the album. So the studio or the demo versions, there was a demo version of most of the tracks on the Queen initial first Queen album, and then there were a few extra things, a few things not on there that were on the album, and a few things missing, but a few additionals. But the point being is he agreed with me that it was just absolutely brilliant and so much better than the actual stuff on the album, which was amazing to think they'd kind of done this demo and lesser material made it to the album. Seems really odd, but anyway. So we felt like little kids who'd discovered a treasure trove of candy bars or something on the way to school. It's very cool to be able to share it. Okay, now let's go. We're going neck. So these are still different colours, but they may have started out different colours, but hey, well, that just makes it interesting. Now we're going to go with, what are we going to go with? Got different ones here, all the same. Let's go with out. Okay, over there you go, and then this one, and this one. Hooey. Looking forward to a cold drink. I've got some, but it's not cold. But I am looking forward to a cold drink when I get home. Whenever that may be. Okay, there's our lovely tuners, our lovely pickups, our other plastic bits, which, to be fair, are still the cleanest things in the world, but they can clean up a bit. And we can do it with this paper towel. In fact, the paper towel isn't as good as my finger by the looks of it. So we could use a bit of this. Yeah, that'll do. Clean up. It's also wiping off all that nicotine as well, so it is a proper grimy state of affairs. Now I've also got a replacement nut lined up. I don't know what kind yet. I've got some what are they called, new bone ones, I think, and I've got some hard plastic ones which I may go with. Although I tend to be a Tusk fan. I don't have a Tusk replacement one just now. We'll see which, if the hard plastic ones work, I'll go with one of those possibly. Come on, you can do it. So there's a clear spot there where the stickers protected the plastic a bit. And we shall see. So you can see how this is a dirty job, full stop. Somebody's got to do it. Blimey, there's okay, that's the glue from the sticker gumming up there. I thought, that's really nasty. What is that? And it is but the glue. See the nicotine coming off as well there. We'll be done with all of that in a minute. Okay. All right, that one's done. Do a bit on this one. see the difference in colour. Right then. Now, what do I need to take home today if I'm working on 335 tomorrow? Well, I think I'm going to need the nut files and obvious stuff like that, which I don't think I've thought about. Right, these bits are going to, oh, you swine! These are going to go in the bin, and I've just, oh my God, this is where I die from. It's so bad, I'm having to squeeze the blood out to get the poison out, because I don't wish to die from disgusting poison. Right, now what am I about? I'm going to squawk around in here, give these as much of a clean as I can. That's good, that's going in the bin. Keeping that. What the heck is that? I don't know, but that's going in the bin too. Bit of blood, knackered bridge, a bit of that, a bit of this, some of that. Put the lid on here, well, momentarily. So now we're going to have a go at getting the sticker glue off the body doil. Oh, come on, what's going on here? Why did that do that? I don't know if it did. That's not that. No. Right, okay, let's get police. Let us attack the filthy parts, the gluey filth. Hooray. It does actually work, this stuff. It will take it all off. I still need a bit more because it sort of waters it down or dilutes the grime, but it eventually will come, all the solid stuff will come off, and then we'll go over it again to get rid of the residue. Yeah, we'll get there. Oh, so I'm having fun at home with the Loden acoustic with the bridge that was coming off, having discovered the hard way that it has what I thought, there was no information online, so I wasn't able to get any idea of what the construction was other than what appeared to be what are those things, rivets. And I've had a EKO bridge, acoustic guitar bridge before, with rivets through it into the body, so I kind of, it looked like rivets and I read it as rivets, which is a slightly tricky one because rivets have to be basically cut out, which was okay. So I steamed off the neck first as much as it would come off, and then the difficulty with that was that I don't know what they glued it with, but it was a dark stuff which seeped into the cedar top, so it's discoloured that. So I've got to get some wood bleach to try and minimise that. That's one thing. Cut through the rivets as I understood them to be, and they in fact turned out to be little machine screws, hex screws, fitted into what's that word? Threaded inserts in the underside of the bridge. So that was a new one on me. So it's not at the end of the world, because having cut through the cut through the original machine bolts, then basically the bridge should hold by being glued properly anyway. It shouldn't need those machine screws, but it's quite a surprise to see that what looks like an almost new guitar the bridge was coming off, not only because the glue cover was so poor, and it was sort of hanging off, but also hanging off even though there was a blasted pair of machine screws supposedly holding it in place. They weren't doing the job, so, or they weren't preventing it from flopping off. Anyhow, so you can see it was, you can guess that it was quite some, it's been some quite undertaking. Also, it pushed me to have to go and spend some money and buy a couple of more bridge clamps, because the ones I would normally use for an acoustic guitar are this sort of cheap, not cheap, yes cheap, the ones you thread or you screw through the bridge into a plate that my custom plate I made behind there. And anyway, it can't work because it's a style of bridge where there aren't any pegs. It goes through the bridge, the strings go through the bridge at a diagonal, and the string balls are used to support the strings on the other side of the bridge. So it's not a normal peg bridge arrangement. Anyway, so that was like, oh well, I suppose I better go and get those extra couple of bridge clamps that I've managed to avoid spending money on so far. But it's one of those things that they really are important to have, so I've no real regret getting them. Just luckily, you know, I had a bit of spare cash this month to do it. But there you go, that's how it always works, isn't it? You find yourself with the spare cash exactly when you need that tool to make that other job a bit easier. And it's always the case, I find, that you can do it with some other means, but you know, if you buy the tool or a better tool for it, then you save yourself some hassle and you prep yourself for another job in future where you need to use that kind of tool. And you're ready next time. So anyway, this is looking okay. I could probably do with giving it a run over with some what's that stuff called? Detailer, you know, that you put on car finish once you've polished the scratches or something. So yeah, that will help clear things up. So it might be worth taking this body home tonight. Take this body home. Right, that's done. That's a grimy piece of rag, so I'm going to bin that. Rest of it is pretty okay, just a little bit of muck here and there from the worktop, but generally speaking it's in reasonable shape. Now the question is, do I do anything else with it tonight, or do I take it home to kind of give the top a bit of a polish? And do I leave these where they are? They feel pretty good. Why don't I, while I'm at it, why don't I get myself a new jack and fit it. Assume I'll go on the assumption that everything else is working. Should I put the pickups back in now? Will they get in the way? No, they won't get too far in the way of cleaning things. Right, quality jack. Come on, Jack. I need a bit of quality off you. Is this a quality jack? Yes, it is, a Nutric jack. Olivia Nutric jack. There we go. We've got the plate already there. It may not fit through the little hole. So, we're going to take off these strap buttons as well. And we'll put some cocktail sticks in, or whatever they call toothpicks. Just give it an extra bit of grip. Just get that clean around the edge as well. Cleaning, keep on cleaning, do, 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 do. Keep on cleaning. Oh boy, it's not altogether too bad condition of this. I mean, it's old and black shows up in muck very, very easily, but I don't mind. What should we do? Should we load this in here? Will that fit? That's going to be, maybe it's all right. Is that bent? No, not too bad. That's worn out. Have we got a couple spare felts? Felts, anybody? Oh yeah, we got a couple of felts. Hardly any more than that, but just enough. We'll need to do ourselves a little bit of glue again. Sorry. Glue, glue, glue. So I'm going to just strengthen up the strap buttons. That's an important thing to do. While I'm at it, these holes here look too narrow, and I can drill them out if I have the right size bit. Something like that's chunky, but it gives us a bit of room. So let's put this into here. Direction, please. Thank you. It's been so long since I used this drill. Let's drill through here. So the reason of doing that is that you don't want your neck screws touching the sides of the guitar pocket or the neck pocket as they go through. So in a way, the bigger the holes in the pocket, the better. Right, so what I'm doing here is I'm just going to load up these little holes for the strap buttons. Just got a bit of glue in there. Once I've got some glue in there, I'm going to cut off this little bit of whatever that thing's called, cocktail stick, and then I'm going to tap it in until it's pretty much all the way down, then snip it off, and that's given me a filled hole, which I can then basically stick the strap button screw into, and it will bite much better. And I don't need to really worry about it too much, because I just need to make a starter hole with a sharp thing that will let me get going. So I'm just going to trim the cocktail stick back, get myself a scribe, and then I'm going to just push a little starter hole in there, and then we'll get one of our things. So we've got the felt, we've got the screw, we've got the strap button, and we're going to line it up there, and I'm going to gently get it in. Wrong way around. Very good. That looks a bit bent. But you know what? It doesn't matter. It's gone in safe and sound. Now for this one. Fill that up with some glue. And then stick all the way to the bottom, wipe the excess glue off, take that on there. You can probably see I'm bending upwards so I can cut the excess off without cutting the finish, and then we will mark it again with a scribe, give it a start hole to bite into, grab hold of our button and our felt and get it going. Okay, in and done. Rightio, and then we'll clean off this, and then we will take a little sheet of post-it note and dispose of it along with those bits. Thirsty. Whoa. Now I'm down to a third of the drink, so I have to be careful now. As soon as I run out, I'm going to run for the hills. Okay. So I've had a sort of good look at the basic pots and wiring, and they are okay. There's nothing flash about them, but they appear to be in pretty good shape, so I don't think we need to do anything with them. I mean, if we try to get this all up and running and it doesn't work, then that'll be a different matter. But so right now I'm going to take off this kind of the plate's okay, but the socket itself is pretty cheap and grimy. So I'm going to fire up my soldering iron, prepare the new jack. Now this may not fit into there, that's often the case. Yeah, it just does. Wow. So what I want to do here is I want to add a little bit of extra grip when it comes to jacks. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to squeeze out a little bit of light, gentle thread lock. Now it is starting to get humid now. I'm starting to boil. Yeah, so we get a bit of thread lock, which we then put around the thread, funnily enough, of the jack. And this isn't so strong that it prevents the thing from being taken off at some point, but it is strong enough to stop it coming undone of its own free will, which we don't want. So this is a much better quality jack all round, and we should get it nicely tightly done up. Lovely, lovely. Right, and then we'll, once this is heated up, we'll just swap over and get ourselves fresh. That's probably a bit too big, but that'll do for now. Right, so there's our fresh thing. Now this one, we can bring these 4 little screws over here a bit closer. That can go in the bin. 4 screws there, move them out of the way. That can go in the bin as well. Good jack. Dead jack. Jack. What we got? 1950. Harry Kane. Right. Who's he? Okay, let's unhook this if I can. You're unhooked, and you're unhooked. Euro unhooked. You are going straight to the bin. Done your time. Alrighty. Bring this over here, and let us get this one This one on here. Gotta go and find me some solder first. Come on, away from there. Away. Right, solder, please. Shoulder. Where's the shoulder? There it is. How are you doing? Are you attached? You are. As for you, get in there. And as for you, that one doesn't want to go through. It will in a minute. There you go. That's the way. Aha. I like it. Okay, so that's good and that's good. That can go back in there. How are you doing? Now, question is, which way is the most room? It could be the opposite way around. I think it needs to move to open up that way around, I think. Hello, hello. Okay, there you are. Blimey. Right. Always a good idea when you put a jack on like this is to, as soon as you've done it up, test it and don't assume that it fits. Ew, it's sticky in there still. Come on. Okay, so the first thing is to just check with a jack plug that it will go in and the little tip will be able to open up. Yep, that's fine. Okay, good. Right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm assuming that this switch appears to be in good order, and I'm going to take my little switch tip doer-upper, undo a doer-upper. I'm just going to make sure this is still tight, which it is. So I'm going to leave that as is. We're going to send through the neck pickup wire. Straight through this hollow space. Okay, all my screws are in here. Let's take some things out, shall we? Okay, you, and 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 you. I want everybody. Ew, mucky. Stay there, inflammable. Inflammable. 1, 2, 3, and 4. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Only 3, 4, right. Okay, now where are the other ones? Not very tall. What do we think we're going to do this with? It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. It's not going to be that. Okay, well, that's the neck one. 1, 2, 3 and 4, 5 and 6. Those are good old-fashioned. Okay, smaller ones maybe. That one, that one, that one, and not that one. Not that one. No. Yes, that one. The rest are tuner screws. Okay. Come on, where have we gone to? Come on, you stupid thing. That looks positively bright, clean and sparkly compared to what it looked like before. Come on. So I'm going to take this home as, not as is, but kind of as is, with the pickups in, and I'm going to clean the rest of the top, and then actually this might be tomorrow's, might be better as tomorrow's finishing job. I'll have to think it through first. Can I get this to go through into the electrics cavity? Is it coming through? Anybody coming through? Coming through? Coming through? Oh, blasted. Blastations. Wow, that is just crap. Now where is it? Come on, it's this one, isn't it? How and where? Where is the blasted cavity? There it is. Phew. All right, that's not very long, so that's the neck pickup. That goes to the one at the top there. Not a lot of room. So I may be struggling to get that one back in. We shall see. Then we go the bottom. The bottom. That's white as well. Okay, well, at least I put this one in the right place, out of the way. How do you get this through? Where in God's name is the gap? I can't even see it. Let them feel it. This is not working. I need some sort of plastic thing, like one of these will do. Send this through. Right, you stay on there, like so. You get out of my way. Thank you. Stay there for the time being. I think, yes, I'll take everything else home, but I'll get this, get the neck back on, get the pickups connected up, and then really I can clean it, and I can even get the foot leveling done at home. Probably better than planning to do the Adam one. Okay, so this one now is the bridge one, which fits better, of course. Move that over to there. Hello to you over there. Oh, you're still running, which is amazing. 1:30. Let's zoom you in a bit. Not quite so far in, but there. So what I'm going to do, I'm hoping, is I think I'm going to, blimey, oh my lordy, I don't really know if I am going to do this at all. Ah, yikes, this is nigh on impossible to get this under here. But certainly not with this, oh boy, not with that tip. Or that one, I'm going to have to go down in size. But even that one's too big. Let's try this one. Hang fire. Hang fire, sweet chariot. Come on. Right, you burny hot thing, go there. Oh, stop with your magnetism. Are you kidding me? Oh, yikes. You hot thing, go there. You extremely hot thing, go there. Make it hot there. You little hot thing, go on there. You sheath, go on there. And you knurled fastening thing, go on there. Good. Let this heat up for a bit. And our new combination. I'm just trying to make it possible to get into this truthfully. If I wasn't an idiot, what I would actually do is I would relieve the pressure on this one, and I would take this one up and a bit out to get a chance of working it without breaking it. And the same really applies to this one if I had half a brain. So I think I will do that. Now, even on that one, look, we're short of without. Oh no, we've got it there. Right. Okay, so what I've done is I've given myself a bit of access all areas here, because these things are pretty tightly done up. Done up like a kipper. Without some dexterity, I'm going to find myself in times of trouble. And Mother Mary is going to come to me and she's going to sing words of wisdom. She's going to let it be. And in my hour of darkness, she is standing there in front of me. Oh boy. So a very real danger of getting these wires interfering with each other. Not that one, please, not that one. Maybe this one, maybe that one, possibly this one. That one's gone. I don't know where that one's gone. That one's around. No. Okay, small plier thing. Blue pliers. That'll do. Have to do. This one. So I'm going to hold on to this bit of bare wire. I'm going to test clean my widget. I'm going to do so with it, and then I'm going to get in here and do that and remove that. Jolly good. So the idea somehow, blimey, this is this even, yikes, what the albatross is going on here. This is, oh Lord, please don't make this not work at all. We've got a blue wire, right, the red one, that's grounding the bridge. Okay, that is, okay, yeah, that's right, that's where the ground wire came in. Let's get that off as well. Okay, so the difficult bit now is going to be getting this bit attached to that bit. So first of all, without panicking or any further todo, I'm going to tin up these little chums here. Okay, tinned and tinned. Try and load this up a bit. It's not quite what I wanted, but it will do. Now I have to somehow get this into a position where it's going to happily go through that eyelet, and you won't even be able to see it. It's going to be so tight and cluttered in here, which is really crap. That's through there. That is now through there. This one can go to there if I just bring that. So let's do that first. Let us just hope we get a bit of contact here. So we'll anchor it down first of all with the ground. We need that to heat up enough to stick to the pot, which it is. Okay, that's the grounded bit sorted. Snip that back. Now, neatly tucked away inside there, where one can barely see it, but if one switches round upside down, one can see it. We've got the live wire going into this lug here, and free from other obstructions, we can make a nice contact. So that's our hot wire into there. Lovely. So now we can, yes, that's right, different place. I grounded it in a different point. That's all. That's all. That's all. Oops, sorry, forgot about you and you. Right, stick that there. Stick that there. Stick that there. Stick that there. Come on. Tighten up. So, I mean, there's still quite a lot to do, as you can probably tell, but we are in that sort of place where as a bulk of it is done, and now we can, okay, that's the one in the middle, that's the one on the top. Yep, good. Come along. This one's got more reach to it now, so I won't be quite so, oops, oh, what terrible camera work. It's not even worthy of the term. But this is, right, this tells me where I'm at. You come out from there, very nice. You come off of the top there. In fact, I won't melt it all. I'm going to remelt it in a minute, but for now I'm just going to cut its hair, because we might use that that blob of solder again. Yeah, so I think we'll take this home with the neck and tuners on, with the fingerboard ready to be, or with the neck ready to be strung up with some sacrificial strings, and then we'll get ready to precision level it and recrown it, and probably finish it at home, which will be just as easy. Okay, so now I'm going to tin this and try and build up a bit of a blob of stuff, which would be better off there along here if I could just do that. No, swine. It's very difficult to get a hanging blob of solder without it falling off or running the wrong direction, but it's dead handy so that you can be sure to get it stuck to the top of a pot. That's the hot lug baby tonight. So that can come down through the middle of this otherwise crowded little house, through there like so, and then this one can be mated in a holy union. I'm not really doing this very cleverly. If I hold that there like so, everything else is like so. So I just get this now to melt and take hold. That's nice. That's that one. And then if we just remove the excess like so, and we can probably roll this that way up and just get off me. Actually, a mosquito. How dare it? Right, I'm gonna teach it a lesson. That. All right, come on, run for your lives, you little mosquito swine. You can probably tell I've got my spray mask on to protect me. Go on, away, you little devil. Go on. Right, that's that, and this is this. That is all good. Then you go in there. And you go on there. Oh, I've done it again. All right, all right, all right. Believe it. I can hear that whining little mosquito up inside my head, as they say. Okay, you tighten up while we're at it. You tighten up. All right. That bit's done. There goes the little bits of padding that were used to keep the plate to the correct height. We might just have to use something else a minute. Let's get these two things and let's see what's on this. Yeah, you know, it's not the end of the world. Have we got any thin stuff here? Maybe, maybe not. Maybe not. Oh yes, we have. Right, we've got a blade. Yes, please. Thank you. And we've got a solid thing to cut something with. Yes, please. No, thank you. Will this work? I don't know. Is it worth trying? Maybe. Will I know until I've tried it? No. Do I need a fresh blade? Yes, I think I do. Come on, out you go. Do I need to take some fresh blades home? Yes, I do. I'm out of blades at home. So what I'm trying to do here is I'm trying to cut this stuff at 50% thickness. Oh my goodness. How do I know whether it's possible? Maybe. Maybe. Yeah. Yes, and possibly no. Okay. Let's have a look. Try sticking a bit of this down. Go away, filthy fly creature from hell. Oh, I didn't make that long enough, did I? Eat it. Okay, let's do this. Holy crap. So I'm just basically wanting to stick down this to give the thing something to sit on. Let's see if I can do it. Oh, come on, you. Yeah, something like that, maybe. Something like this, maybe. Oh boy, come on. Come on, I need to get the backing off here. It's driving me crazy. Is this not working? Thank you. Logs. Have mercy. Okay, so that kind of a bit better. Let's try it. Yeah. That sort of feels okay. A bit better than it was. Yep, that will do as is, I think. Won't make any difference. Okay, 2 more. Hold on. Hurrah! I think they've all gone, the flies. Right, that was my little bit of padded whatnot. Now I'm going to get the neck. Oh, right, yes, neck. Okay, so we glued in these bits, didn't we? So we're now going to chop them flush and scrape them back a bit. And then we're going to make a new pilot hole ready, which I don't have my what's it for, which will make it a little bit harder. My hand drill, my battery powered drill, so it might be a little bit trickier. Let's see if I can still do it. Right. So as always, I will get the blade just scrape this back flush. Less important what it looks like, as long as it's flush. That's the most important thing. Well, it doesn't have to be messy, but it doesn't matter if it is a little bit messy around there, because we're just, this is hidden anyway. So there's a bit of spill there which we want to get rid of. Right, so we are level. Now the idea would be to get a drill bit that has the right pilot size. Pilot's eyes. That'd be too big, I think. It's a bit mushy, this stuff, so you don't want to over drill. Let's try and find the best. We had one kicking around here, didn't we? Where did it go? Where's the bit? There it is. That'll be the right size, I think. Yep. Okay, so we're going to have to use this power drill again. And see what we can achieve. So this is going to go to the back. Back. What's that there? It's a spare bit of foam, which we don't need. So that can go all the way up to the, that's the wrong way. Something like that. And then if I go in, gee whiz, go in the back like so. That gives me about so. See, very precisely. That's so, yes, that's so. Probably do with a little bit less than that even. If we can get it in a bit further, there we go. I think that will be a good size. Now the main task of this now is to put that in there like that. We need to get one of our pilot holes drilled nicely. Like so. Get our plate, get our drill, change our bit on this one over, all with one hand. It's working. Yeah? Get this into there. Which one did I just drill? Bottom. Silly fellow. Something like that. You put that there. You. Like so. 1, 2, and 3. There you go. Sorry about the view a minute. Nice. And then the other two. There we go. What's happening there? That's gone a bit, it's gone a bit wonky. What's going on here? And aha. Okay, done. Hang up for a second. Move things out of the way. Right, so, okay, that's good. To do some manual screwing up. So take this thing, and we're going to put, I'll just tighten it up manually, like so. And so, and so, and so, there we go. All right, now we can go back to getting our, together. You can come undone at this end now, and you can come down here, doink. Something like that. What am I trying to do? Okay, yeah, let's do something like that. Let's gently put in the screws. Nice, nice, nice. So, wow, okay, these two belong in a different place. Fine. Fine, fine, everything's going nicely so far. Short. Okay. Look at that, very nice. Cross there. Now we're in business. Where's the doing up thing? This thing. Not bad going so far. Okay, all of those done up. Put the bridge stop bar posts in down this end a minute. Put the bridge post in also. Everything's looking good. All grubby. It's always the way with a black glossy sort of finished guitar. Right, now we have got that to go back on. We have got a couple of bridges to choose from. One says Sung Il Korea, which we might start with. That fits. Yeah, could do it. This one's cleaner, that. What's that one? Yeah, that one can do. It's got a bit more movement already built in. I think that'll do. And we'll go with a tailpiece. Oh yes, very nice. A non-broken tailpiece. Oh yes. So, okay, we're at the stage now where we're a nut short, we're some fret leveling short, and I guess we're a test of how things work. So in order to level the guitar, I would have to do something which would be like putting some strings on it now, including, we suppose, a nut of some sort. Now this was an adjustable one, which I hadn't really thought about using or reusing. That's not going to fit, so that's an uneven nut shelf. Let's just clean that garbage up first, as much as possible. Ew. Somebody's put way too much glue in the end of this. So what I'm looking for, I've got some nuts at home which might well do a good job, but that wouldn't be a bad one to kick off with. If we get just a bit of levelness out of the shelf. And maybe asking a bit too much. Somebody has really glued it to hell and beyond. But we might just get, yeah, that will hold for the time being. Right, let's see if we can get a set of sacrificial strings on. I don't know anything about whether these are long enough. And if not, they can go in the bin. Let's zoom out to this end. Zoom, 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 zoom. There's the guitar. Oh yeah, there it is. Right, let's see if I can get these are long enough or not. Just for the time being, I'd like to be able to get this stop bar on and held in place. Oh yeah, that will do for starters. So we'll get a quick check and see what works now. Obviously the bridge, the nut's going to flop about because it's not glued in place. Let's just get this. Oh, that's left-handed. That's probably a bit of a pain in the what's it. So we just want to use something. These are all left-handed. Those bone ones, of course they are. Let's just use one of these. See if this will do. Will you do? Yeah, it probably will. Okay. Okay. Width-wise, that's okay. What I'll do while I'm just at it, I'm going to mark up the frets right now as if I was going to go ahead and do the leveling, which I will do either tomorrow at home or may do now, depends how it goes. But this gets me sort of a little bit ahead of the game, so I can get on with that. They're not very tall frets. I don't want to be refretting it because that will make it a pretty much full-on undertaking. Let's get the next thickest one. So obviously I'm trying to keep this as bare as possible, not putting the what's-its back on, the knobs on or anything like that, because I'm going to want to be able to clean the surface of the finish one more time before putting it all back together again. Okay, we'll get there. Third one, not so bad. It's not so bad. So as I go through loading up each one of these strings, I'm also getting to test whether the tuner actually works or not. And that's a good thing to be able to know. So it's just informing me as I go if I need to replace the set of tuners. But thankfully I don't. Here comes the G. So what I'll do then is I'll take this home with the spare with plastics and everything in a container, and I'll take my crowning files with me and that sort of thing, and let's get that right down onto there. you get, down you get. That's okay for working on. It's not perfect, but it will do. Obviously I won't bring home the, well, I won't attach the scratch plate just yet. Wait till that's all finished. We do that. So it's getting filthy again with fingerprints, but that's a sort of temporary matter really. Okay. And now, a bit of a tangled up string this one. Stay together long enough, please, to do my fret leveling. I beg of you. I'm going to have to use a whole set of strings just for this, if I can help it. Oh boy, get in there and stay. This is nearly impossible to work with sort of wires that are already bent too much. Out the way. Okay. That's interesting. So not the world's most perfect alignment, but actually not the worst either. It'll work. Just more room on the treble side, but that's actually not, it's not altogether too bad. Better that way round than the other side. Okay, so I'm just going to approximately put it into pitch. Okay, let's lift up some. Let's lift up some height here. That will do for now. Yes. sort of not the bestest I ever have seen, but not the worstest. So we've got something to take care of with that neck. It's kind of gone into quite a bit of curviness there with this grade of strings on there. But let us take care of that in a second. Now, one of the things I obviously haven't just tested, and I really ought to before we go any further, is the actual making noisiness of it. So I think that's probably a good thing to do next. I'm going to put a bit of flattening into the neck, straighten it out a bit. Doesn't it all look so much nicer and cleaner than before? Come on in, come on in, come on in. What are you doing there now? Oh, yikes. Up you come, up you come, up you come, up you come. That's okay. Keep a bit on this side too. Oh yes, it's coming to life. Right, things I need to take home. Take home a couple of different nuts. I'll take home those, I'll take home those screws, take home those. For some reason I've got 3 of those left. That's for the thingy. We'll take care of that in a minute. Let's see, we need to bring home the recrowning whatnot thing, which is good. Recrowning tool. We could probably do with bringing home the thingy whatnots, the thingamajig, absolutely malarkeys, the strings, the blades, which we'll bring back again the next day. We'll switch that off, and that off. We will rock you. What else will we do? Well, maybe we'll find a little box to put things in, which won't be that one. So, sorry, I'm just thinking, pretending to think out loud, not thinking very well. So I think that's me done for here. Remainder is to do the precision fret leveling and some recrowning and some sanding and polishing. So I'll probably get together some sanding block. That one will do here. Put some tape around it. Oh, all very organised. What else do we need? We're going to finish this tomorrow. Well, we're all wired up so far. Oh, we didn't test it, did we? Should we test it now? One last thing before we go. Yeah, let's do that. That would make sense. Hang fire, Scooby. Let's take it over here. Stay there. Move out of the way. Move out of the way. Where is this? Got this. Where is this? Got this. Whew. I don't want to play it because I've marked up the frets, but I just want to make sure if it works. Now we're on mega high gain. Okay, well that's good news, it works. Right then, well we take it home now in the car and we'll have a lazy evening, or slow evening tomorrow night, completing it and giving it its sort of final clean up. What I'm going to do is I'm going to put all the little bits in a box somewhere. I had one single box left over. No, nothing useful, of course. Right, well that's not exciting, so I will put you through it. Thanks for watching. See you again. Oh, we'll finish this tomorrow on this this tape. Tape, you know what I mean.